Patricia and Landon Regali, Chief Little Flower, coming at you from the privacy, the safety, and the sanctuary of my beloved cousin Lori and her beautiful home of the state here in North Carolina. At the time of this recording, it is Wednesday, February, April 17, 2024. So, how's it going, everybody? How's it shaking? How's it baking with everyone today? Are we in the hot seat? Are we sitting pretty, just letting the universe, the Most High, do the heavy lifting for us? Because it matters. So, whenever we think of biblical prophecy, we think of the inevitable. We try to deconstruct it, what it's going to look like whenever it is upon the horizon, and whenever it is knocking at our front door. The question is, would you recognize it? If it came to you in everything that you thought it would you recognize it if it came to you in ways that didn't look like what you thought it would, you'd be able to recognize it as? I ask because, whenever I was a kid, growing up and learning, I'm a next generation girl, and shout out to all my ex-gen out there because, I think, stereotypically speaking, I feel as though we're like one of the last of the tough ones because we were raised being able to drink out of the garden hose. Oh, my mom would have been livid if she saw me do that. But still, I was still outside playing with the water, playing with the garden hose, playing with the sprinkler, we even had one of those clown ones that you attach the hose to, and then the base of it was a clown, and then it would spurt the clown hat up into the air, and then we'd run through that, and it would catch the hat again. I mean, I had a lot of fun outside. We grew up outside, is my point. We didn't really have electronics to tether us to the indoors until maybe the early 80s with the advent of course, there was Pong, and then there was the Atari. I grew up with Atari. And then we were pretty tough. We were rather resilient. Although if we wanted to talk on the phone, we were tethered pretty much to the wall. And then the advent of the technological advance with us presented with wireless telephones, although it was still a landline. And then of course now the advent of the technology of cell phones. But being rather resilient as we had been, I feel like, so we were resilient, us collectively as products of the general public academic system, we were taught a lot of unfiltered historical events, Oregon Trail of Tears being one of them, and then the other one is Hitler and the Berlin Wall and what it meant for the concentration camps inside the Berlin Wall and during the presence of World War II, because it just wasn't just Nazi Germany. For instance, Auschwitz was in Poland, if I'm not mistaken. But we were taught the presence of all of that. So growing up, I was always fascinated with concentration camps. I don't know where I've seen all of the pictures, but I've seen pictures of the concentration camps. Fast forward to this day, I've seen a picture of the Nuremberg trials. And whenever they hung with the executioners that ran the concentration camps, little did I know during my academic career as a kid growing up in our institutions of our public scholastic systems that there were 1,300 of the concentration camp executioners and those that ran the camps. I didn't know they were funneled right into the United States and given sanctuary. Now you have to stop and wrap your brain around that. And the audacity of that, the audacity of these factions of the government that said, oh, those people that ran the concentration camps, we need them. Bring them in. Now, where is the common sense in all of that? One of the people that was given sanctuary into the United States have been Dr. Mengele. If you haven't looked him up, I highly encourage you to, because the presence and the historical nature of that man is very relevant to impacting the society as we are living it today. The Dr. Mengele crew, the Dr. Mengele monkeys, that is their godfather, who helped contrive all of these Nazi tactics, all of these Stasi tactics that we come to know today as the targeting of an individual, the Setzersung, and by way of the Masonics, if I'm not mistaken, which is known as the slow dagger, which is all contrived as PSYOP assignments to torture psychologically their targets into committing suicide. And so, but nonetheless, as I was a kid growing up, learning about this Nazi Germany and this dude named Hitler, my biggest question was, rhetorical question, mind you, was that, what if Hitler had used his powers for good? How would our country, how would the world look if instead of him being so hyperpolarized to control everybody, hyperpolarized to filter what he thought was the Aryan state by annihilating with genocide the other ethnics? I mean, because I'm all like, as if judging a book by its cover was the norm. Y'all are stupid, whoever think that. I'm talking to the bigots out here. Man, what's the matter with you guys? As if the veneer of a person made a person. Because I've seen a lot of whitewashed tombs running around as Pharisees, dishing out the PSYOP assignments, not knowing they're fucking prostituting. No, I mean, as if y'all would care. Because if you don't care about the immoral disposition of the lacking of integrity that these practices present to your soul, let alone the community, let alone the earth, we know y'all don't give two shits other than money is your God and God is your money. Money, 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 money. I ain't got no integrity. Just tell me who to PSYOP and I'll prostitute whenever you want, with or without the clothes. That's what you all are saying. So, but back to Hitler. I always used to wonder, what if he used his wiles for making positive impacts? What if he used his wiles for making, happy impacts? So now I come to my state of existence that, all I ever really care is to be the change that I want to see in the world. So if you guys are like Mahatma Gandhi, like I'm going to be the change that I want to see in the world, and you guys are running the PSYOP machines, you guys are just throwing away your own soul into mastication, fit for all of the demonic forces to have their way with you, because you gave up your soul and you no longer have a sense of salvation in any little minute part of your brain, let alone your skeletal, musculoskeletal presentation of your existence. So I would fix that if I were you. But even the Nazis had deployed paranormal interplay into how they ran their warfare against the populace at large. And so fast forward to these days, now even the US uses deployment of spell work to run their game, believe it or not. There's been CIA documents out there that have studied aspects of the paranormal and how it impacts their own institution of their tactics of running sideways game at people. And then so I had done a video some time ago, and in this video I'm going to share my own theory. I had gotten this technique from the Ghost Adventures crew. Shout out to the Ghost Adventures crew. I'm one of y'all's biggest fans. But what I learned from them is this technique of amping up the leverage of your ratio of catching paranormal activity would be to take pictures through the reflection of something. Take a picture primarily through the reflection of a mirror, or you can actually use a TV that's turned off and take a picture of a person, place, or thing through the reflection of what then becomes a black mirror. So when I had done that, 11:01 as I'm talking about this on my timer, I had done that whenever I was at the Everett Gospel Mission as a homeless person. I'd broken my foot. And then so what happened was I taken a picture of one of the women. She was sitting down in the chair. I didn't get a good picture, but I did catch her foot. Oh my God. And in her foot, the picture that I got was that there was no shoe, although she was wearing a boots rather. And I got the toes, and the toes were like fanned out. Fanned out. And they were demonic toes, people. Oh my God. And for the people that had stolen from me for my devices, y'all got that. I know you did. And got a lot of my other work that you claimed as your own. And then so, but the question is, could you duplicate that? And I'm really good at being able to deconstruct pictures. And basically, a lot of the pictures that I've seen that can be deconstructed, you can dial into the frequency of what's there, because it's like you have one front that's presented in the visual acuity of what a cursory glance would take in. But I've been trained in the last 2 years in how to see beyond that with dialing into the other frequency and bringing out pictures within a picture that you don't see. I can do that. And in fact, the Iron Maiden, I could reproduce that in front of somebody. So that's pretty much Area 51 stuff right there. You'd have to approach me in person to be able to see my greatness at work and being able to reproduce that. And the people who have stolen my work that has a copy of that Iron Maiden, y'all know what I'm talking about, get them to reproduce it for you in front of you. And in fact, the people that stole my stuff, well, guys, you guys took the bait. You just practically stole right from the dinner table of the Most High. So you guys are enjoying your karma hand over fist. You're going to have to eat brick for brick, because whatever money you guys made off of that, you stole from me. And anybody who is stealing from my publications on my Facebook and otherwise with my commentary, don't expect to get away with it, because that's more divine clickbait temptation. So if you guys are perusing anybody's work and recycling it to pretend it's your own, y'all just bought into death and decay. I'd fix that if I were you. For reals. And then so I gotten the technique that I just spoke of taking pictures in the reflection of something from the Ghost Adventures crew. But here is my theory. My theory is that it goes, the common denominator here is a vibratory frequency. So whatever a person is vibing at a particular frequency, whenever a picture is taken, it can unlock more information from that particular vibratory frequency. So you can have the tools such as any random camera, any random phone that you use the camera on, in the same setting. You might get different outcomes between different people taking pictures in the same setting. So I am vibing really through the roof these days. So whenever I end up taking a picture of a particular setting, I propose that I have more advantage point to unlocking what's in the general setting with the outcome of my pictures. But then not only is it the foundation is the outcome of the picture, but then sometimes you have to have the discernment of the visual acuity to be able to unlock what's in that picture. I can do that. And then so whenever I had met Scotty online, it was like one of the things that we had shared in common, which really floated my boat, because I am a sapiosexual. I find the mind the sexy points, you know, and then, you know, aesthetic, sure, it's great and everything, but you know, if somebody's presenting as a low viber, I don't care how aesthetically pleasing you may be to X, Y, and Z. It just kind of makes my little girl dick go limp. I'm like, ew, because I'm about moral aptitude and everything. And then so, but one of the things that we vibed out in common, at least to me, was our, I love the paranormal. I eat, live, and breathe that. That's always been a passion of mine ever since I was, you know, old enough to check out books from the elementary school library. There is no other books to me except the nonfiction and whatever ghost story I can find in that. So I have been touching up on the occult, not the occult practices, but what was labeled as the occult since I was a child. Occult meaning hidden knowledge. And if you really want to take that up a notch and ramp it up, whenever you go to the doctor and they want to make sure that you do not have blood in your stool, you'll have to do an occult blood test. Bet me that. Then ask yourself, why is it called occult? Because I used to wonder that. No, I'm like, oh yeah, occult simply means hidden blood. The test is a little card and you wipe some of the fecal specimen on it and then it'll test out whether or not the blood is present. But it's called occult. Just because the word occult is a present in something doesn't mean it's hellfire and brimstone for all of you lovely Bible-thumping Christians that don't have a sense of balance with regards to the occult. And God bless you for it. But I suggest to you that the mystics and seers have a special place of prominence, and the divining tools that is used has a special place of prominence in the upright ethics of the Most High as well. Because that's how he outs all of the rat bastards, the rotten, dirty scoundrels, man. But nonetheless, I digress. So, paranormal has always been my thing. And whenever I had linked up, which is, I probably chatted with Scotty maybe 6 days and that was it. And then so during the banter of our discussions, I had sent him some pictures of my paranormal outcomes. And so I sent him maybe about 4 pictures of the same picture that had showed varying degrees of perspectives of the same shot. And so he never said anything about it. I'm like, that was weird. Okay. And then I had sent him 2 pictures of the same shot of me in the house I was renting back in Houston that had a couple of paranormal aspects to it. And he never said anything, which I thought was weird. I'm like, why wouldn't you say anything about these pictures when the crux of a lot of our dialogue had been around the paranormal? And then I realized, oh my God. So I allege that he's been the bed buddy of Dick Tracy #1. And it was Dick Tracy #1 and his pet parasite of a wife that have been peddling my work, lifted from my phone and perusing it to vendors as their own, making money off my creative grandchildren. And I'm like, oh, I just basically shared my work with the enemy. Oh, I'm like this bug. So I'm going to attach pictures. I'll find a way to splice in these pictures. But the first set of pictures that I'm going to talk about, #1, I could tell you where they were taken at. The cross streets, practically. Could you divulge the cross streets of where those pictures were taken at, bitch? God forbid you paraded them as your own and tried to peddle finances off my creative grandchildren because you were part of the diabolic framework making money off my creativity with all that grand larceny and such. Because I could provide the cross streets. And then as far as the picture in the bathroom of where I had been renting, yeah, I mean, it's obvious it's mine because I'm in the picture. But the first set of pictures, which have probably been about 4 of them, I just took random shots whenever I had been gang stalked. Common practice of mine began to just take random pictures of the atmosphere to see what would show up. So one of the common denominators I would start to see were these like round, kind of like flattened oval round discs in the atmosphere, not like UFO discs, but little discs. And then if you've seen some of the paranormal videos of these unidentified little flying objects that began to show up maybe around 2021 in the atmosphere, I kind of liken these captures to something like that. And then so in this particular shot, there have been about 4 of them in the atmosphere, but I feel like one of them kind of gave off an ethereal glow of some sort. But yeah, again, it's paranormal. So I'm going to find a way to splice that into this particular video because it's important to me to at least claim a stake to my own work, since there are plagiarists out there committing grand larceny on me. Because it's not just enough to target an individual to get them to commit suicide so somebody else can override their life and be like, oh my God, I'm her now, instead of getting your own life because everybody else is taken. These people, just because I don't have much of a dime to myself, they're still trying to vulture every aspect of me, vulture my mind for the grand larceny, vulture my creativity from my devices, and then railroad me in the 3D in ways that I have no idea that is happening, because hello, but I do have an idea now because, the ethers. And then it's just really easy. Anybody participating in all of that targeting of the individual with all of your prostituting with your PSYOP assignments, y'all are nothing more than prostitutes with your clothes on. And if you're prostituting your integrity, that means you ain't got no integrity. You don't have any ethicals, and God knows your morality was a thing of the past, like your virginity. And you're two-faced. So it's like anybody that has been racking up the coinciding incidents around me with me being targeted by those close to me, I don't believe for a second you are as honest to my face as you are behind my back. I expect you to annihilate my character. I expect you to defile my character and to assassinate my character behind my back. It would be foolish of me to think you were honest about me and me as a person. Because your cohorts are nothing more than dirty slanderers of the Gestapo machine that it presents to the society at large as it is. I would be surprised if you were honest about anything behind anybody's back. Everything else is just a front, a fake, a phony. I mean, that's what it takes. Who else would run sideways, psyop, prostitution assignments against somebody just so you can get an unethical shakedown with blood coin to slough off the blood, and not the unethical shakedown with the cesspool of immorality, slough off the bone marrow of all the children being sexually molested in that. And each day that I see that bullshit happen, all I know is that you're just proclaiming to me and the Most High how fucking selfish you are to not even do what you can to release the children of the cesspool of the PSYOP assignments that it presents to them being sexually molested in the sex trafficking of the Truman Show. Call off your little hound dogs, people. They're still walking the PSYOP assignment machine. That's all I'm going to say about it. But, you know, I forgive you all. But the question is, with all the children being sexually molested in that sex ring, do you think they would forgive everybody enabling it all? It doesn't matter. What matters is that the Most High is on the throne, and that everybody enabling that demonic entity, well, you just feed yourselves right into it one way or another, so whatever. But everybody likes to believe, who dumps the Bible, that the Bible is the end-all be-all. But how many of you all are willing to believe that the book of Job is alive and well? Because if God can do it for Job, he can do it for me. And he can do it for all the other ones that have been molested at the hands of the PSYOP assignment prostitutes. Because sooner or later, like my mommy always said, the truth will come out. And when it comes out, you better be ready for the sodomization that you enabled against the others just by participating in getting the grub down. So, whatever. Nonetheless, it's been Patricia Ann Landon talking about the historical relevance of that Hitler presents to a society today. And the rhetorical question is, if Hitler used all of his wiles for the positive impact of the world, how different would our world be? So I just never really saw myself as partaking in being the virtue of the positive, because it was just a rhetorical question I had in my heart. Little did I know that the Lord would use me and the others to impact the world as happy. Because Lord knows we need more happy people impacting the society at large that helped eradicate all of the grub down, all of the stolen valor. Ew. I mean, all like, oh my God, everybody who was stealing the valor or pretending they were rich when all they did was run PSYOP assignments as prostitutes without the clothes by hoeing out their integrity, giving up the morality, and teaching the children how to be parasites, just as the ones presenting how to grub down thy neighbor. Y'all are eradicating yourselves out. So whatever. What we need are more happy people impacting the world at large and paving the way to blaze the trail on the authentic power of forgiveness, and then deconstruct the logistics and what that makes so. But nonetheless, it's been Patricia Ann Landon Regali talking about some of these paranormal incidences of my life, and talking about how I shared some of my work with Scotty, who never said a damn thing to me about my work. So I'm going to go ahead and post my work, and if you've seen that man parading that work as his own book, and you know, that would just be the wonderful nail that seals his fucking coffin, so whatever. Suzanne Landon Regali coming at you from the privacy, the safety, and the sanctuary of my cousin Lori and her home in the state with the foster child here in North Carolina. Peace. Bye.